we are rolling into our next segment, kind of. This is the organic conversation, but this part is going to be a little bit more about, I like to call it like insider gems, like what you've learned on your experience, on your journey. I think is really interesting. This is my second interview, only, second one into it. But the first one, I learned so much because I did so much wrong.
Right.
So, I'm interested to hear you guys' experience and how that happened. Derek, do you want to start? Maybe a beats and chill. How's your beats and chill versus?
I was surprised at how many women came out, honestly, because I didn't plan for that.
Really?
I just thought it was going to be a whole bunch of guys in there just, headbanging, and that was it, but also I had a lot of people on the show, and I didn't think of that at first, and it was not a good idea, but I no longer have like 6 producers playing beats for like 4 hours. But, I learned from that and just, decided to make the show a bit more enjoyable, maybe add like a special guest performance and, I interact with the crowd too and ask them, hey, like, what do you like about the show? How did you hear about it?
Yeah.
What did you like? Stuff like that. So.
I learned from like trial and error, but like the main thing that has taught me stuff is looking at other people, like seeing what they be going through and like how they got to that position. I feel like one thing that I learned like just from being on the music scene here is that like nobody owe you nothing.
Right.
In any scene. Like, no one owes you anything. Like, people are so entitled and they think that, well, I've been doing this, so why don't I have this, like this person? And it's just like, you have no idea what that person had to do to get to where they are, you know? Even if you think that you're more talented than them, they did something better than you. Like, whether it was talking to the right person or putting themselves out there more or something. They did something that you didn't do, so you shouldn't be, I hate the term, like, slept on. Because, like, no one's sleeping on you. You haven't done anything to catch my attention. Do something to catch my attention, and then you'll get my attention. But you can't be mad at your audience for it. I'm sorry.
Gem's not dying. Gem's not dying.
That's just a huge thing for me because I've seen, people that I was close to lose opportunities and not make it where they wanted to be because they thought that these things were supposed to be happening without them like putting the work into it, and like. I fall victim to some things like that too, like where it's just like, man, I've been, doing these shows or like even with like myself, like progressing, like, man, I've been like playing bass for like 6 months. Why don't I sound like Thundercat? Like it's just, like, so the main thing that I will take away, like learning wise on the scene is just like, no one owes you anything. You have to work, right? You have to work to get where you want to be.
I have a flip side to that. I like what you mentioned about people saying, like almost like the whole slept on concept. Because me, I work on the other side. I work on the aspect of like, who cares about like journaling or documenting the entire journey? Like as a creative, like get your hands dirty, get muddy, make the mistakes, and whoever sees it, they see it. Like at the end of the day, the audience that loves you at the end of seeing all the mistakes you made, that's your real deal audience. Like those are the people you can call like your fans, you know what I mean? So like I look at it sometimes, and when people do think about being slept on, they think about like, oh, well, I went into hiding for 6 months and I came out with this project that should be awesome. Like, how come you guys don't like the project versus where like me, I'm just like, I'm writing a book right now, and there are days where I come on, social media, I'm like, yo, this book is like trash, man. Like, what am I doing? Like, this is terrible. And then like 3 months later, I'm like, yo, I fixed it. It's perfect. Like, yo, let's go rolling. Like, it's available on Amazon now. So it's like, I think too many people just don't take advantage of just going through the mud, going through the frustrating parts about it and like enjoying it. Like, for me, when I first going kind of a step back, I think if you have to just keep everything, never throw anything away. Like I remember my first event, I wasn't even booked to host it. Like I just saw the mic around and I was like, oh, y'all messed up now. Like, and I just started hosting the event and they were like, yo, like, that was so awesome. Alex is a great host. And I was like, Yeah, like
That's great.
this is how we're
That's
gonna do it.
awesome.
And for like a couple events, like I used to go out and just grab the mic. Like I didn't care about like, oh, like what are you gonna do? Fight me? I got the mic. Like stop. Like, everybody got that. But like I just kept on doing it, and it just allowed people to get comfortable with the idea of like, yo, that guy can really control the mic. And then I started coming with like reasons for it. Like, look, you're putting this event on, like you don't have the time or the bandwidth to be able to coordinate the back, coordinate the crowd, and coordinate this. Like I got it. Just pay me like whatever. And it started working. So I tell people all the time, don't throw anything away because a song, a thread, a picture, a book, you know, I've gone back as far as 2009 and found stuff that I worked on when I was 19. And I'm like, yo, you had no idea like how, one, you had the time to do it. And two, like this is actually really, really good stuff. So
I think when you look back at those ideas, I'm with you. Like I keep all of them because ideas are like currency. Like this is what I could be building. This is what I could be putting out. And even if I can't do it right now, it's just another thing that I have in my back pocket. Like you're always trying to build up.
Sometimes you are ahead of your time, like and you just might have had an idea that at the time you couldn't sell or people might not have gravitated towards it. 10 years later, like it might be the new it.
Or maybe at that time, like, because I go back in my journals and read old ideas and stuff, and I'm like it makes more sense to me now. Like I had this idea and it was like a half thought, you know, like bullet points, not even full sentences. And looking back on it now, I'm like, oh, okay, I see where my younger self was going.
How about y'all? How do you feel?
I think that authenticity is extremely important. And I feel like I dealt with that for a long time because I feel like, at least in, you know, my scene, like being a woman, like a lot of photographers are men, unfortunately, and it's a very male-driven scene. So for me, it was just like, most people who like know me, I like to be out, I like to drink, I like to have fun. So it's like, okay, there's a lot of people like photographers who'd be like, you should make your own personal page so people don't see that side of you because, you know, it's a little not professional. And I'm like, man, like that's who I am. You're not gonna hire me and I'm not gonna be there in like, you know, all black, like, oh yeah, I'm ready to take your pictures. Like, no, I talk, I make jokes, I laugh, like, you know. So I think for a long time, just being comfortable with being myself because that's the audience, you know, and the people who are going to hire me is people who are comfortable and looking to like have a photographer who's, you know, interactive and stuff like that. So.
Well, and who's going to make them comfortable? Because some people are very uncomfortable in front of the camera.
Dude, it's crazy and it's so, and for me, I love that because I love being able to like break people out of their shells, you know, and a lot of people always love that. With me, it's not even, you know, about my talent. Sometimes it's about like, I want to hire you because you make me feel comfortable. And that shows behind the camera, you know. So I think, authenticity, people can see when you're not being yourself. So sometimes you don't make it, you're talented and you're great at what you do, but sometimes you don't make it because people can see you're not you. And people don't like that. You know? So I think that's probably the biggest thing I've taken.
I think that's a good one. I struggle sometimes with putting myself too much in my business, but I hear positive feedback like, no, I like when you pop up in your own. And I think for me, the biggest gem that I've learned in this journey is it's really about myself and like what I'm capable of and building my own confidence. Because the first time I wore a bow tie, I was like, how do I tie this? What do I do? You know, like, I'm like, well, I got in this business, so I need to learn how to tie this. And spent like 2 hours trying to tie it. And I was like, do I look okay? And now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wear this rainbow bow tie. How can I make it pop? You know, and like going through my closet, going shopping and like buying a leopard print shirt with black beaded fringe, which I would not have worn, but I'm like, this is a great button-up shirt and I'm gonna fucking make it work.
All of us are inspiring someone, you know, so when you're able to like, people, you know, on social media, it's such a big platform. So when people are able to see us being ourselves and doing what we love to do, it's like, even if you're just inspiring one person to be like, damn, maybe I could do that. Like, they're doing it.
I can wear that. I can take photos.
You know what I'm saying?
I can sing.
So,
I want to talk about social media. Thank you. Thank you.
Big one.
Do you feel, obviously, everybody here I think I've connected with via social media. But how do we feel? Do we feel like it's taking too much from us? Like we can't focus on the projects. Maybe this is personal. It's coming out. You can't focus on your project because you're focused on creating content. You're focused on posting 3 times a day, engaging with followers. Like, where is the happy medium? And it obviously helps more than it hurts, but how much does it hurt?
You got to set limits on screen time and stuff, because it's
Screen
real
time.
easy to go down a black hole on social media. And
do you have a time where you kind of like plan out your content and then you execute, or is it like, I'm just gonna post this, like, because I think it's a full-time job. It obviously is a full-time job. Somebody is a social media manager for someone.
Yeah.
But it's like, how much time do you devote to it versus your actual craft? Like, I think that's important to think about.
Yeah.
I think that it's a great tool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we're blessed, and I think a lot of the times we're spoiled because it's all we know. But we don't know how it was to grind back in the day with no social media. Like, you're grinding. You know, if you're not talented, if you're not, you know, out there putting yourself out there, connecting with people, you're not doing anything. You know, we are blessed to be able to get on social media and reach as many people as we want. Do I think that sometimes, you know, obviously we feel the need to put out content because, especially visually, like I feel like when I'm not putting out content, I'm not booking. And sometimes I do have to take that break though, and it's hard to kind of tell yourself, you know, I'm not creating anything I want to put out. I don't want to put, you know, be on social media liking things and talking to people. Because then it almost dilutes your craft, because who are you putting out for? Yourself because you love it, or for your audience who, you know, it's just kind of half-assed.
I've toggled with that a little bit, and as of recent, I gave up using social media as that platform to continue pushing like my craft. I mean, when you really look at it, like I work in sales, for example, I kind of mentioned that. And when you really look at like marketing, like they say, Facebook, you're only 16% of your audience is ever gonna see your work. Like 16%, not even like 16% of the world, like just 16% of the people. So if you have 100 followers, only 16 people are gonna like see that. So you're really beating a dead horse trying to beat that algorithm or something like that. So me, really, social media is just a way for me to connect with people. Like I literally spend my time on social media. Like if it's on Twitter, I'm talking to people. You know what I mean? Just like organically, the same way I would talk to you here. Because trying to come up with a time of day, like what's my peak hours for my followers.
Yeah.
You know, later is a good platform. It's a good tool. I love it. But I think it like exactly what this question is asking. Like it's taking you away from the ability to do what you do. And then do I really want to delegate someone? Like, do I want to pay somebody to run my social media page? Like,
I have done that, and I have mixed feelings about it. I'm taking my social media back.
Once upon a time, I was doing it as a service, and that was just too much science and too much math and too much like, your brand colors are off, so it's making me, you know what I mean? Like I gotta create graphic design for this person, and it becomes this rabbit hole of like just all this work we have to do that takes us away from what we're trying to do in the world. And to me, it's not worth it. Completely not worth it.
I can talk for like 8 hours about that's been such a struggle for me because like, man, okay. Like with social media, I really appreciate it. Like how you said, like we are blessed to have that opportunity. And now you don't have to pack up and move to LA and move to Atlanta because if you are able to create some type of online image for yourself and you're getting fans from your online personality or your persona or your pages, you know, you can get opportunities that way. You know, I have gotten all of my opportunities from either Twitter or Instagram. And then if I do have a show, sometimes like somebody will be at the show and say, hey, do you want to perform here? But I wouldn't even have gotten that opportunity if I didn't get the initial one from Instagram. But the bad thing about social media with me, and I know with a lot of my like girlfriends, like it really can like kill your self-esteem if you're the type of person to you know, like compare yourself to people.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I struggle with like, you know, insecurity like a lot of people do, but, you know, scrolling and seeing like just these perfect looking people, these perfect lives and stuff, and then you're just at home looking around, get a glimpse in your mirror and your hair is all fucked up, and you're just like, oh shit, like I'm nothing. But that's not true, because, you know, like it's just the comparison that you have to kind of separate yourself from. But when I saw that I was doing that, and I did take some time off social media, I lost so many followers. Like there were people messaging me for opportunities that I missed because I didn't respond in enough time, and I was just like, I have to be on here. Like I hate it. I tell my friend Ruben all the time, like I can't wait until I make it so I can get off social media, because once I'm in a position where I don't need to promote myself and get these opportunities from online, like I really don't want to be involved in that way, because it can like consume and like suck the life out of you if you let it.
Right.
Some people are healthy enough to use those apps, but so it's a struggle. It's, you know.
I'm not either. I'm constantly like battling, like I don't want to be on here. Like for me, I'm an introvert, so even social media is still a level of socialness that I'm like not ready for. Like, oh, like, hey girl, hey girl. Like it's just a lot for me. And then like you said, scrolling, seeing everything, for me, it's kind of overwhelming. Like once I get on here, I haven't been on there for like maybe say half a day. For me to catch up on everything that I've missed is too much. But I mean, like you said, I think there's good and bad in all of it, and just taking the good, doing what we can with the bad.
I think social media makes this feeling of like there's always more that you could do. Like you're tired, you're done, and you're just like, man, this person's in Spain, like painting a sidewalk for no reason. Like,
but
I gotta go,
you
like,
see someone that you know, that you know is like they're posting like how they're working on social media. You're like, damn, let me get off so I can start.
On social media.
They'll post a meme like you'll sleep when you're dead, and then they go take a nap, and your silly self is like, oh my god,
come on, you got it.
They're sleeping, posting a better meme, and you're just there trying to work.
Yeah, it's this feeling of like there's always more to do. There's always more to do, and it's like when I've been like, you know, taking my fast off of social media and things like that, because I can be on there for like 8 hours. Like I have the little thing on my phone that tracks the time, and like one day I was on there for 9 hours. Bro, turn your phone off.
Oh shit.
Yeah, just scrolling. Like I posted no content, nothing, just like doing this for 9 hours. So I think that's the dangerous part of it. And by no means am I saying not to use social media for what you do, but I think it's just that idea that
you gotta find that balance.
You have to post, you have to do this, you know, and like going back to what I said before, like when you find that those people do unfollow you, it's almost like you're kind of disappointed, because it's like, damn, like what am I not enough for you? But then on the other side, it's also like, okay, well, the people that stick around, like I got to give them something, you know, I gotta make it worth it. Cause I heard this phrase the other day that was like, you earn your audience. So it's like, once you feel like you get to that point where, you know, you're doing your thing and you earn that audience, it's like, man, who could take that away from you? You know what I mean? So to me, it's just a place to just connect with people, just connect. For example, you see a name and it's now an introduction, like, oh, Sona Part, I think I saw you. And then, you know, you kind of just use it like that.
Awesome. Okay, so I want to get into some current events / culture shifts, things that we've been seeing going on. Number one that's on the top of my mind is cancel culture. You know, because Twitter is the hub of cancel culture.
That's how you get canceled.
You get canceled officially on Twitter. I think it's so wild because, first of all, we have these public people. So imagine you are working on your craft, you're working on your thing, you get big, you still have your own personal life, but this craft has put you on this platform for millions of people to see. How do you separate yourself, or is it fair to cancel a person and their whole work, their lifespan of work, because of their personal decisions? And what is that decision? What's the cutting line? I feel like there is a place, but where is that place? Where on the spectrum?
if I could tell you how many times I've seen people tweet something and I type up a response and be like, nah. I might save it and then just delete it. Like,
the draft.
I started Twitter in 2009.
Ooh, savage.
So
savage time.
yeah, there's
Wild West.
like I could be canceled now. I ain't even made it yet. And but part of like the thing about it is that I always think about is like I've never seen somebody like completely lose from being canceled. Like,
is it real? Like, does it exist?
Nah, like I think it just brings more attention to that person. Perfect example is like R. Kelly. Like, you see, everyone's like, R. Kelly, and I'm not a fan of R. Kelly, but like, there are people just like, oh no, we're gonna fill up an R. Kelly concert. They'll go buy like 100 tickets just so, all right, the seats might be empty, but he sold out though. So it's like, do people really cancel? Like, I can't think of anyone who's done something wrong and it's like it buried their career. Maybe Kathy Griffin, but that's probably it.
But we're still talking about her, so
barely. Like I just mentioned her. That's the first mention of her like in 3 months. You know,
true. I haven't heard her name in a minute.
It also deals with their money too. Canceling somebody is it doesn't matter if we're talking about them. It has to do with their money, which is everything. You know what I'm saying? Like the R. Kelly thing, when that documentary came out, like, you know, didn't they take him off Spotify or something? They took him off a lot of music streams. You know, that's not putting money in his pocket. So you can go and sell out a concert, but probably not. You know, I know a lot of his concerts got canceled, stuff like that. So, like you said, there's always a line. R. Kelly crossed that line. Like, that was
R. Kelly is
a line.
Yeah,
like,
no, R. Kelly is canceled. Like okay, I'll take that back. He's probably the one person that's like canceled.
Canceled.
He's doing bad.
You know what I'm saying?
That boy doing bad.
When you hit someone's pockets, then you're canceled officially. You know, then you could say someone like Kanye West. Kanye's not losing on nothing right now. He could be canceled, but we're still putting money in his pockets. People are still buying Yeezys, listening to his music because he's a genius. Like, musically,
and
everything.
realistically, he didn't do nothing.
Exactly. So what is it?
Like
if you say something confrontational, if we hear one of our favorite people say a racial slur,
when it was like 14 on Twitter, no,
that's so ridiculous.
I'm not canceling nobody for anything they said.
I'm not. I've gone back, like I've gone back to delete some tweets before. Like I'm not even like, I had to just search my like what did I say about this in 2009? And I've been like, take that. Yeah, and it's like you have to, you know, you got to just live with that. Like you said, all right, cool. Do you forgive yourself? Yeah, but like if you go back and find 19-year-old me and you like, oh, what did he say about like, I don't know, what did he say about women? It's like, I might have said like some things, but
what did you say? No,
maybe a rapper.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't think going back 10 years and saying that this person said this, well, look, I've grown. Like,
people try. They try.
Why do we live in a world, though, where we have to censor ourselves? Why? Because I think we all have these ideas in our mind, right? And we see something, we'd be like, discriminate. Or, you know, like, just automatically, it's not like we're, like, doing it out of a place of negativity. It's just how we are. But for us to actually put that out into the world, that is a problem. When we're all having these thoughts. And I think it's kind of creating a world, like two different realities, where people are happy to be themselves behind closed doors, but when it comes to public settings, it's just like we're all kumbaya.
You gotta be smart about the decisions that you make. Like, everybody has an opinion. Like, you know, if I'm just talking with my friends and no one's around, like, you know, you'll probably hear some stuff, you know. That's everybody. I don't think anyone really, you know, is
immune to that.
Right. So, like, the whole cancel thing to me is like, you know, a lot of times, like, the intent behind it is not always, oh, I was offended. It was, this person's really successful and I'm hating right now. So let me find something that I can put to the forefront and then, like, get everybody, like, up in arms about it. And those
it's mob mentality.
Right. Those types of cancellations, those are the ones that usually, like, they're like blown off because of the next person who got canceled. So it doesn't really impact their career. Like I don't think Kevin Hart's career got impacted.
No.
He was canceled.
Yeah.
And who else? Like
What was he canceled for?
Cheating.
No, that's not even the only one.
Oh.
wasn't it also
the
like
gay
the homosexuality?
yeah.
But that was old too. That was like 6 7
Yeah,
years
it
ago.
was old. It was
And
an old.
he's a comedian. Like, you're going to get offended by
Right. That's their
something
whole
that
thing.
they say.
I think he had apologized for it a while ago, and
Yeah.
he was like, "I'm not apologizing again because it's like." Bro.
Yes.
I think that's the issue too, is that a lot of these artists, they'll say things, whatever, people will find stuff, and then it's like they have to come out and apologize, obviously because they're on a platform, so their publicist is probably like, you have to publicly apologize. When really, I wish they could just be like, I said what I said, like, what do you want me to do? I've grown,
But you know
whatever.
what I think it is?
Right.
though? I think
That
it
was
is-
then. This
Yeah.
is now.
I think people are recognizing that with social media, everybody's kind of like selling something. Right?
Yeah.
Like you're selling your art, photography, you're selling your career, right? If it's like people social media that aren't really saying anything, obviously they not really pushing the social media to be followed. So these are people that don't really have a lot of following, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can't really get canceled because they're not
They're-
really selling
they don't
anything.
have
It's
to
more
be
so the people
canceled.
that's actors, artists, performers, people who are public figures.
Right.
These are the people that get canceled because you're selling something on these platforms at the same time using that platform to say something that inappropriate.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of if you're gonna do that, probably not use that platform that you're using to sell something on.
Right.
Use a different platform. Make a fake Instagram.
A
burner.
Finsta? What's that? A
A burner
Finsta?
Wow. Okay, that was awesome. That was very interesting. We are coming towards the end. I want to do this thing. It's going to be real fun. It's kind of like a this or that. So I want everybody to, I'm going to ask some questions and you tell me which one you prefer. Start off strong. Endgame or Infinity Wars? Did anybody see? Okay, so you're out.
I'm like,
I also cannot participate.
Oh,
Yeah, same.
jeez.
I saw both.
I saw
Oh,
that.
God. I
man.
thought this was like a thing. No?
Endgame.
Endgame.
Yeah.
That Infinity War storyline better.
It's okay.
I agree. I
I
say
like
Infinity Wars.
Most people do. But I like Endgame.
Great. We're all Tampa locals. Salem's or Zico's?
Zico's.
Salem's.
I've never had Zico's.
Zico.
It's-
Got better shrimp.
Ah,
Steak fries.
Mhm.
Steak fries.
And
my
the fries.
God.
I've never had
gosh.
Zico's either.
Have you had Salem's?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Salem's?
chicken gizzards.
I haven't had it in like 10 years, so
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something that we gotta grow up.
it's been a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
$1,000 in your pocket or $10,000 worth of exposure.
What? Can I convert that into $10,000?
What is it?
No.
Wait, no.
Which one do you
$1,000 in
prefer?
my pocket.
$1,000 in your pocket or $10,000 worth of exposure for
What is-
your brand? Exposure. You
Nah,
know,
$10,000 worth of
I'm
exposure.
still broke, man.
Yeah,
$1,000.
I
I
need
need
the
to
money.
give me the liquid cash.
Money
please.
now.
I would say the exposure.
I would say the
I'd make
exposure.
more money off of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'd say the
And when you
exposure.
have a message, you want the exposure.
Do you
want
mean
the
like
exposure.
10K worth of ad time or
anything,
something?
wherever you would put
I
towards
don't know what
promoting your
exposure is.
brand.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yes, promotion, yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not like somebody being like, yeah, you can get 10,000 exposures if you perform here.
We've all heard, that's a man, we've all heard exposure.
you know, as creators, we always get
We
those
hear
DMs,
exposure, so it's like, nah.
Good exposure.
It'd be good exposure for you. Hey, man, come on,
But
man.
like 10K in promo, heck yeah. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
a no-brainer.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go with the
So we're
10K.
all going
10K. 10K
Hey, that-
exposure.
10K exposure.
You say exposure, I get triggered, man.
That word is so like,
Yeah.
All right, so that was it. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I can't wait for this to come out. All right.
Good job, everybody. Okay, so.
Don't get canceled. God damn.